Always stay hydrated. Cheers! Hey there, and welcome to the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. My name's Thomas, and welcome to, surprise, surprise, yet another double crunch video. For those who are new to my channel, the double crunch crochet stitch was the selected stitch for the Battle of the Stitches, in which I participated in the month of June, and it was my personal mission to see how far I can push this beautiful crochet stitch. And turns out it's super versatile, and this project is no exception. It was born again out of a pure necessity. We have super warm weather, and usually I forget to take a water bottle with me when I take my dog out for a walk. So I was like, why not make something fun and cute that I definitely won't forget that much and that I can take with me, that I can put on my leash or on my walking bag and have it with me for whenever I need it. Of course, you don't have to use it for your dog. If you don't have a dog, then of course you can always use it for yourself, because we all know, always stay hydrated, especially on warm summer days. Technique-wise, this tutorial is pretty much like the other ones where I showed you the double crunch stitch. In addition, you will also learn that you can perfectly combine the double crunch stitch with filet crochet. I'm super happy that I found out that this would actually work, because you can then have a more meshy fabric mixed with the beautiful pattern from the double crunch stitch. And of course, if you use two different colors, you get like these beautiful summery and super fun stripes that I absolutely love. And I think this works just perfect for something like a bottle holder or water bottle cover. So are you ready for the double crunch water bottle holders? Let's go! So here's what you need to make yourself such a super fun water bottle holder. First up, the yarn, of course. I used rainbow cotton from Hobbii. It's 8/8 quality. Of course, you can use 8/6 quality or 8/4 quality. You just have to make sure then to increase the rounds so that it gets a little bit bigger in the bottom. And I personally think that using cotton is definitely the best option, because it's okay if it ever gets wet, or especially when you also use it for walkies with your dog. It's just super practical, because you can always wash it and then reuse it for as many times as you like. And in addition, the cotton is not very stretchy. The stitches are, but the yarn isn't, so it's definitely something to keep in mind when you make something like this, because with the weight of the bottle, it's of course always stretching out a little bit. As a hook, I'm going to use a 4mm crochet hook. I think this is also here it even says 4.5mm, but I'm going to choose a 4mm crochet hook. Make sure to use a crochet hook that fits to the yarn that you're using in terms of size. Then, of course, some scissors and a yarn needle to sew in the yarn ends. And of course, optional, you can always use those kind of snap locks. And I got them from Amazon, just to like attach the bottle holder to my bag or to my pants. But most of the time you can of course always carry it along with you by using the handles. And like that we are good to go. I'm going to use the orange yarn and the red yarn for this. I will make the double crunch part in orange and the double crochet part in the red. And of course, I can only recommend you to use great flashy colors, because this is a piece that definitely looks absolutely awesome with some flashy colors. But of course, that's absolutely optional. To get like this duo color effect. Of course, it makes sense to have colors that work great together, so you get the best effect. So we start with the red. And I'm going to start with a magic ring. So I do it my way, you do it, of course, your way. I do as if I would make a slip knot, and then I take my yarn end and pull it through the center. Then I close my slip knot, and here we go. The magic ring is done. And now we start with a fake double crochet in the magic ring. So we go in the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. Then we go in the front bar with our hook, yarn over again, pull it through, 2 loops again on your hook, yarn over and pull through to start the round. And now we need a total of 14 stitches in this magic ring, and we are going to alternate chains and double crochets. So after this first stitch here, our fake double crochet, which serves as our first double crochet, we chain 1, and after that we make a double crochet in the magic ring. So yarn over, go in the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2, and then we chain 1 again, and then we make the next double crochet in the magic ring. And we do this until we have 7 double crochets and 7 slip stitches or 7 chains. So again, chain 1 and then double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we make another chain, and then we can close the magic ring. And now we are going to connect our circle right here. And for that, we are going to leave the yarn behind. Then we are going to release the hook from our loop. Now we are going with our hook from the back in our first fake double crochet in the top under both of the loops. Then we take our loop, put it over the hook, and we will just pull that loop through the top of our fake double crochet. And like that, our first round is done. And now we are going to start with round number 2, because of course for the bottle we start here in the bottom of the bottle. We need to add a few more rounds so that it fits the size of our bottle. And for the second round we are going to increase the same thing that we did in the first round. So that means for every stitch and chain we are going to have the double amount. So we go back into our top of the fake double crochet, yarn over, pull the yarn through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, then again go in the front loop or in the front bar, yarn over, pull it through to start again with a fake double crochet. Then again we chain 1, and now to increase we are going to make the double crochet and chain always 1 in between or in the space in between our previous double crochets, and 1 of those sets in the top. So that means we yarn over, we go in that space, right in there, grab the yarn, pull it through, and make a double crochet. Then we chain 1, and then we go in the top of the previous double crochet to make another double crochet. So whenever we had a double crochet in the first round, we are going to make a double crochet on top, and whenever we had a space in between where we had to chain 1, we just chain 1 and make a double crochet right in there, and like that we can increase every stitch by 1 to have the double amount of stitches. So again, chain 1 and right in the space, chain 1 and in the top of our double crochet, just like we would do it with filet crochet. And once we reach the end, we again chain 1, release the hook from the loop, and then we go from the back into our top of the fake double crochet where we started, and then we just pull the loop over it and pull it through to keep it there. And here's how it looks, round number 2. And now we are going to make one more round, and this really depends on how big your water bottle will be. So always test it, place it on top of it to see if it fits, and then maybe you need one more round of increases or 2 more rounds of increases. So for this next round and the final round for this bottom, we are going to increase every second space or stitch, basically. So we go back into our top of the fake double crochet and make another fake double crochet on top. And then we chain 1, then we go into the top of our next double crochet, and after that we are going to increase again. So we chain 1 and then we make 1 double crochet in the space in between double crochets from the previous round, then we chain 1, then we go in the top of the next, then we make a non-decrease, so it's just a regular stitch, so chain 1 and go in the top. So only in every second space in between we are going to add an additional chain 1 and double crochet, just like we have it now. And like that, every second stitch is going to be increased. And since we started here with a regular one, the last space right here is going to be an increase. So we make chain 1 and a double crochet right in there. Then again, chain 1, release the hook and go in the back, from the back into the top of our fake double crochet, pull the loop over the hook and just pull it through. And like that, my bottom is already complete. Here's how it looks. Super pretty as is. You could use this as a coaster. So again, if your bottle is a bit bigger, but it will stretch out a little bit anyway, then just add another round of increases, where you would then increase every third element. But I think you got it. And now if you also haven't closed the magic ring tight yet, you can do it now, because now we are also going to add the second color. and we do this like I also showed it to you in the previous double crunch videos. You just put it over the hook and then just pull it through. Now you can drag on the loop to tighten everything, and we are basically good to go to start with our first double crunch round. So we are just turning our work. You take all the yarn ends to the side and you just push the orange yarn or the yarn of the second color to the back, which is of course the original front. And now for all the rounds that start with the orange yarn, the second color, we are going to start with the slip stitch of the double crunch stitch. And the slip stitch is always in between the double crochets in those chain one spaces. And whenever we have a double crochet, we are going to place a double crochet on top of it. So we go into our first space, grab the yarn, pull it through, and make the first slip stitch, then yarn over and go in the top of the next double crochet to make a double crochet, and then comes the next space. So we make a slip stitch, then again a double crochet on top of the other double crochet, and then the slip stitch, alternating our double crunch stitch all along. And I'll see you at the end. And if you have counted correctly or guessed correctly, then our last stitch will be a double crochet, which is absolutely correct because we have an even number of stitches. And now we take the yarn to the front because this is of course the inside, release the loop, then we go from the front into our first stitch, which was the slip stitch, take the loop over your hook and pull it through to the inside, pull everything a bit tight, and now we can switch back to the red yarn. So we put it over the hook and just pull it through our loop. We can then tighten the orange loop again, and now we are already good to go to turn again to start working on the sides. And this is of course pretty easy. And the first double crochet we are going to place in the top of this very last crunched double crochet. So we go in to create a fake double crochet, yarn over, pull it through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, go in the front bar, yarn over, pull it through, and here we go. And to create the filet crochet part, of course we are going to make double crochets and chains all along because we are only going to work in the crunch part. So chain 1 and then go in the next crunch, or in the next double crochet crunch. And so we are not going to work in the slip stitches. We are just going all along or all around, just working in the crunch stitches, because that will give us the filet crochet and the meshy appeal. And of course this makes the round so much more faster. And same thing, chain 1, release the loop, and then of course we are always going to pull through that loop to our back side or the inside. So again we go from the back into the top of our fake double crochet and pull it through, and like that our first filet crochet round. And this is like the combination of double crunch stitch and filet crochet. I think it looks super fun. And now we can already continue with the orange yarn. So I'm just going to grab my orange yarn and pull it through my red loop, Then of course I will tighten the red loop, tighten the orange, and then just turn and take the yarn to the other side to start my first stitch. And again, like we had it before, we start the orange round always with a slip stitch, and then we are going to make the double crochet on top of the previous double crochet all along. And I will show you one more color change to go to the filet crochet round, and after that you are good to go to make the height of your water bottle. And here we go, the last stitch. There's only one red stitch left. Then again, the orange yarn to the inside, release the hook, go from the front into the top of your slip stitch and just pull it through. Pull the orange tight. Now take the red, pull it over your hook, pull it through to change the color. Again, orange tight, red tight, and turn to start your next filet crochet round. And these always start with a fake double crochet, so we go in the top of our previous crunched double crochet, single crochet, go in the front bar, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we do the sequence like we do it for filet crochet, so chain 1, and then we skip 1 stitch, which is the slip stitch, and then we continue by making double crochets on top of each of the crunch double crochets all along before we then change the color back to orange or whatever color you were using for it. And let's see, how many of those rounds do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crunch rounds and 1 additional round of double crochets or filet crochets. And I will meet you once you have this. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crunch rounds and basically 6 double crochet rounds. And then we can already finish the beautiful water bottle holder, and I still think this looks beyond pretty, and you can use it for so many different things. So have fun. And here we go. I now have my 6 crunch rounds and 6 filet crochet rounds on top of them, and that means we can already finish our water bottle holder. And I'm right here where I chained 1 already. And to close this last round, we are just going in the top of our fake double crochet and slip stitch, because afterwards this is going to be the drawstring part and it will be crumpled up anyway. Then we make another chain 1, and then we can actually cut both of the yarns and then just pull it through, pull it tight, because now before we then create the handle or the rope or however you want to call it, I'm going to sew in all the yarn ends first. So this is done. And for the very first one, which was the last yarn end that we created, I will just go in the middle of the next stitch and pull it through, and then I will just go on the inside along some of the stitches, and at some point I will also just make a knot just to secure it a little bit. You don't really have to incorporate it super nicely. It's okay to just have it on the inside and that's basically it. And this I will do with all of the yarn ends. And like that, you are good to go. Personally, I absolutely love how this turns out. I wish you could touch it because it's really like so beautiful to touch it. It's probably also a very good massage. So maybe make a glove and then give your loved ones a massage or something like this. It's really, really pretty. And now we can do the handle or the rope, and I'm going to do this with the orange yarn. I don't have that much left, and I leave a longer tail of the yarn to the side because I'm going to make it as an I-cord, because I love doing I-cords. Of course, you can do it with a chain. Here it was with a chain, and for my blue one I used the I-cord. I personally think the I-cord looks a bit nicer, a bit more neat, and it's a bit wider, so depending on how big your bottle is and how heavy it is, this can be a bit more comfy, but it's of course absolutely up to you. And you can of course also make a very long handle and wear it over the shoulder. This is absolutely optional. I'm going to make the small ones so I can have it in my hands or use it with the snap lock to attach it to my doggy bag or my shorts, just however you want to have it. And so I'm going to make an I-cord, and for the I-cord, again, you take the yarn from your yarn and wrap it around from the front, and then you take the yarn that goes to the rest of your yarn or your yarn ball and wrap it around from the back and pull it through. And like this we do in our case. If you want to have short handles, we do 90 I-cord stitches, or if you use the chain to make a chain of 90, and I'll meet you once I have it. And here we go. And now we can cut both of the yarns, and we will just take our working yarn through. It's okay that you have one in the bottom and one in the top, because later on we are going to use them to lock to the other side. But first let's just bring it around our drawstring part, and I will just go from one to the other, from the top, from below, to bring it in. And here we go. And now we take our yarn needle again, and I will just go through. Where's the top? Where's the bottom? It's right here. So this was the top. And then I release it, take the other, and I will go through the same space, just to like bring them all together. And then I will take the one that I already have on my yarn needle and pull it through again, because now I have them both on the same side. And now I make a double knot. And then I will take the yarn ends somewhere through. Again, this doesn't have to be super accurate. And then we just cut them, because with the double knot and the going over and under when sewing them in should be enough. And cut it, and like that the drawstring part is done. I'm now make it that you have one loop to the left and one loop to the right, and then of course the water bottle, put it in and pull it up a little bit, and here you have it, the drawstring that holds your water bottle. And then of course you can always have it like this and then open it to drink yourself or let the dog drink. This is completely up to you, and I think it's super fun and a super pretty piece. It definitely makes me smile, and it will most probably make a lot of people smile when they see it, and especially when you do it like I do it, as a little collection of beautiful double crunch filet crochet water bottle holders like I have them here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to know how to make such a super fun and very easy double crunch water bottle holder for yourself or for your dog when you're out there in the sun. It's still summer, and remember, always stay hydrated. And now you can do it in a super fun, super cute and fashionable way with these beautiful bottle covers. And I hope to see you back again next time. This will most probably not be the end of my double crunch journey, so stay tuned. There's more to come, even though the Battle of the Stitches is over now, and I will go back to one tutorial every week, or at least I try to post just one tutorial each week. And until then, have a great summer. Happy crocheting. Bye. The water sound. A little ASMR at the end of this video.